Have you ever poured your heart into loving someone only to discover you were merely a pawn in their scheme? Many people, particularly those in their 60s and beyond, find themselves in relationships where they give their all, only to receive nothing genuine in return. Why does this happen? Love often clouds our judgment, a phenomenon psychologists call confirmation bias, where we focus on evidence that supports our desires and ignore contradictions. Kahneman 2011. When we care deeply, we overlook warning signs, and those who exploit this are often adept at concealing their true motives. Today, we'll explore 6 unmistakable signs that a man was using you, even if love blinded you to them. If you've ever doubted a relationship's authenticity, this will help you spot the patterns. Let's dive into Sarah's story for clarity. Sarah, 62, recently widowed after 30 years of marriage, thought she'd found a second chance at love when she met Jimmy, a charismatic 65-year-old. He said all the right things, made her feel cherished, and for the first time in years, she felt hopeful about the future. But gradually, inconsistencies emerged, moments that gave her pause, though she dismissed them. Only later did she realize James wasn't in love with her. He was in love with what she could provide. Here are the 6 signs that reveal whether a man is truly with you or just using you. Sarah had always been generous and nurturing. After her husband's passing, she wasn't sure she'd find love again. 30 years of marriage had given her security, even if passion had faded. Now at 62, she was navigating modern dating for the first time in decades. That's when she met James, tall, impeccably dressed, and a master at making her feel special. They met at a bookstore when he struck up a conversation about her favorite author. He asked about her travels, her career, and her dreams with genuine curiosity. "You're remarkable," he said, smiling. "I haven't met someone so authentic in years." Sarah felt a spark she hadn't felt in ages. Their connection blossomed quickly. Within weeks, James was texting her good morning, calling daily, and sharing stories that made her laugh. He'd been divorced twice, he said, but never found someone who truly got him. "You're different, Sarah," he told her over dinner. "You bring me peace." Sarah felt fortunate. After years of prioritizing others, her late husband, her children, her colleagues, someone was finally prioritizing her. But small things didn't add up. James showered her with compliments, but rarely asked about her emotions. Plans often changed last minute, and his generosity with words didn't match his actions. Sarah ignored these at first. Nobody's perfect, right? But patterns emerged. Then came a moment that made her question everything. One evening, James arrived at her home visibly stressed. "I hate to ask," he said, rubbing his temples, "but I'm in a bind. A business deal fell through, and I need a little help to tide me over. It's temporary." Sarah hesitated. Something felt off, but James had been attentive, so she gave him a small loan. Weeks passed, and she noticed more red flags. James would vanish for days, then reappear without explanation. He dodged talks about the future, and his grand promises never materialized. Sarah's heart clung to hope, but her mind began to see the truth. Months later, she learned James wasn't in love with her. He was exploiting her kindness, time, and even her money. She wasn't his only target. Here are the 6 signs Sarah missed, starting with the first. He only reaches out when he needs something. At first, James was the picture of devotion. Sweet texts, daily calls, and constant check-ins. Sarah hadn't felt so valued in years, but a pattern emerged, backed by research on manipulative behavior. Narcissists often use love bombing to secure trust before exploiting it. Hare, 1993. Whenever James was extra affectionate, a request followed. One night after a tough day, Sarah was thrilled to see his name on her phone. "Hey, gorgeous," he said. "How's your day?" They chatted, and then he paused. "Actually, could you do me a favor?" It started small, picking up a package, then escalated to financial help. "My account's tied up," he said. "Can you spot me until next week?" Sarah rationalized it. Relationships require support, but when she needed him, he was absent. After a rough day, she texted him for comfort. Hours passed with no reply. The next day, he texted casually, "Hey, sorry, busy night," followed by another request. Sarah realized James wasn't in love with her. He was in love with what she could offer. Lesson: a man who cares is there without an agenda. If his affection vanishes once his needs are met, he's using you. Sign number 2, he never introduces you to his friends or family. In a serious relationship, you meet your partner's inner circle. Studies show social integration strengthens romantic bonds. Felmley, 2001. But James kept Sarah at a distance. 3 months in, she asked about meeting his friends. Soon, he said vaguely. Months passed, and he always chose out-of-the-way date spots, never inviting her to social events. One evening, his phone buzzed. Tom, best friend. Sarah suggested meeting him. James brushed it off. My friends wouldn't get us. Later, Sarah spotted him laughing with a group at a restaurant, including another woman. When confronted, he snapped, "Why does meeting my friends prove anything?" Sarah realized he was keeping her separate, not integrated. Lesson: a man who loves you includes you in his world. If he hides you, you're not part of his future. Sign number 3, he manipulates you with guilt. Healthy relationships thrive on open communication, but manipulation often involves guilt tripping, a tactic linked to emotional abuse. Johnson, 2008. When Sarah voiced concerns, James turned the tables. After he canceled plans repeatedly, she said, "I was really looking forward to tonight." He sighed, "I'm under so much stress, and I thought you would understand." Sarah apologized, feeling selfish. Later, when he grew distant, she asked if something was wrong. "So I have to report every move?" he scoffed. She apologized again. But when she needed support, he dismissed her. "You're too emotional." Sarah saw the pattern. Her feelings were invalidated, and she was always the one saying sorry. Lesson: a loving partner validates your emotions, not twists them to play the victim. Sign number 4, he doesn't really listen to you. Active listening is a cornerstone of love, with research showing it fosters emotional intimacy. Race and Shaver, 1988. James seemed engaged at first, but Sarah noticed he never truly listened. She shared a childhood memory about stargazing with her mother, and he nodded, then changed the subject. Weeks later, she mentioned it again, and he acted like it was new. Her dream of visiting Ireland, he forgot entirely. Sarah tested him, mentioning a desire to learn pottery. A month later, she brought it up, and he was clueless. Yet he remembered every detail of his own needs: bills, errands, emotional support. Lesson: a man who loves you absorbs your words and dreams. If you're unheard, you're not valued. Sign number 5, he makes big promises but never follows through. Trust hinges on kept promises, and chronic unreliability signals low commitment. Rusbolt, 1980. James promised Sarah a trip to Paris, sparking her excitement. She researched flights, but he deflected. "Let's wait until things calm down." He promised a weekend getaway, then canceled. He vowed to fix her leaky faucet but never showed. Each time he had excuses: "Work's crazy," or "I'll make it up to you." Sarah waited, but nothing changed. She realized he made promises to keep her hooked, not to build a future. Lesson: a man who loves you acts, not just talks. Empty promises mean you're not a priority. Sign number 6, he loves what you do for him, not who you are. Love is about mutual appreciation, not utility. Bearscheid, 1983. Sarah was a natural caregiver, and James praised her kindness. "You're a blessing." But she noticed he only valued her actions: bringing soup when he was sick, listening to his woes, helping with bills. When she needed medicine or emotional support, he was unavailable. A friend's question hit hard: "What if you stopped giving?" Sarah tested it, stopping her usual efforts. James didn't notice, only reaching out when he needed to vent. She saw the truth. He loved her support, not her. Lesson: love is about who you are, not what you provide. If he only values your effort, it's transactional. Final thoughts: you deserve better. If these signs resonate, face the truth. He didn't love you. He loved what you gave him. Sarah learned this painfully, giving her heart to a man who saw her as a resource. She was always there for James, but he was rarely there for her. Real love doesn't feel one-sided. A man who loves you shows up without strings, includes you in his world, listens deeply, keeps promises, and cherishes you for you. Sarah walked away, and though starting over was daunting, it freed her to find genuine love. Don't ignore these signs. You deserve consistent, unconditional love, not a guessing game. Share your story. What moment made you see the truth? Your experience could guide someone else. Sarah used to think that love was about sacrifice, about waiting, about accepting things that didn't quite fit. But when she stepped out of James's shadow, she realized a simple and powerful truth. True love doesn't make you doubt your worth. It doesn't make you feel alone in your relationship. True love is when your heart is appreciated, when you're heard, seen, and loved for who you are. If you're wondering if you're being taken for granted, listen to your inner voice. You don't have to try harder, wait longer, or give more to be loved. Be brave enough to walk away, like Sarah did, because there's true love waiting for you, a love that doesn't have any conditions, that doesn't require you to compromise yourself. You deserve it, and don't ever let anyone make you believe otherwise. Thank you for listening to Talk with John. If you like it, please like and subscribe to the channel. I will provide you with more interesting content.